Propping a Hollywood career up securely can be extreme work. Not exclusively can one terrible film take steps to wreck an actor's whole profession, yet anything that occurs off the screen can have a similarly annihilating effect. Today, with camera telephones all over the place and a VIP culture took care of by paparazzi and tattle, an actor's capacity to keep working can rely completely upon keeping themselves in the clear, which isn't in every case simple to do. Here are top 10 celebrities who destroyed their own career. Before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe, and turn on post notification for more videos related to celebrities. Number 1. Lindsay Lohan. Following Mean Girls and Herbie fully loaded in the mid-2000s, Lindsay Lohan had all the buzz and ability to become the greatest star. All things considered, Lohan was just 17 years of age at the time of Mean Girls shooting and had just shown a background marked by solid work. But then, drugs, arrests, and partying derailed her career less than 4 years after the Mean Girls high water mark. In an Entertainment Weekly article from 2007, a few unknown studio heads and makers talked about exactly how much her career had imploded. Mean Girls was just 3 years earlier. At the present time, she'd need to pay a studio to get herself into a film, one studio head said. Another studio official clarified, her movies don't open. She's an agony to work with. I believe she's finished. Almost 10 years after the fact, very little has changed. The Paul Schrader-directed thriller, The Kenyans, should be a recovery of sorts for Lohan. However, the New York Times article named "Here is what happens when you cast Lindsay Lohan in your movie" shows that Lohan is as yet engaging a few issues. Number 2. Paul Reubens. Paul Reubens' Pee-wee persona was immovably inserted in mainstream society before a 1991 capture of the star for masturbating in an adult theater put the brakes on Reubens' career. While his morning show, Pee-wee's Playhouse, was at that point done, the capture affected CBS's choice to evacuate reruns of the arrangement while touching off a media storm over his association with children's programming. For the greater part of the 90s, Reubens maintained a strategic distance from the open eye until he started to show up in movies and TV again in 1999. A pornography arrest in 2002 again took steps to crash his career, yet was later brought down to a lesser accusation. He has at last begun to arrive at the prominence he once had during the 80s, including starring in the Netflix original film, Pee-wee's Big Holiday. Number 3. Jennifer Grey. Jennifer Grey's Hollywood story lights up the shallower side of the industry. Beginning in the mid-80s, Grey was quick getting one of Hollywood's rising stars with noteworthy turns in Red Dawn, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Dirty Dancing, the last of which scored her a Golden Globe selection for Best Performance by an Actress. Be that as it may, in the mid-90s, Grey experienced rhinoplasty, a nose job, and her profession was influenced for the time being. Portraying the experience, Grey clarified, "I went in the working room a superstar and came out unknown." She included, "It resembled being in an observer assurance program or being imperceptible." While Grey has kept on working reliably in the decades since, all the momentum she developed during the 80s went up in smoke. "It was the nose job from hellfire. I'll generally be this once acclaimed entertainer no one recognizes as a result of a nose job," Grey said. Number 4. Tatum O'Neal. As the most youthful star ever to win an Oscar for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, O'Neal appeared to be en route to a long and acclaimed venture in the film business. Tragically, the entertainer's profession was wrecked by widespread medication misuse. Her post-Oscar continue has been meager, with scarcely any credits and for the most part forgettable jobs. Her substance use has likewise harmed her own life. In 1998, O'Neal lost guardianship of her child to her ex, tennis player John McEnroe, because of her drug issues. Number 5. Thomas Gibson. Thomas Gibson, a long-term star of CBS's Criminal Minds, got himself cut out from the dramatization in August 2016 after purportedly kicking one of the show's co-executive producers. The suspension was at the first idea to be brief, yet that changed after co-produced ABC Studios and CBS Studios launched an investigation into the altercation. Before long, it was reported that Gibson had been forever excused from the show. The official articulation read, "Thomas Gibson has been excused from Criminal Minds." Inventive subtleties for how the character's leave will be tended to in the show will be reported sometime in the not-too-distant future. The terrible encounter was purportedly just one of 3 strikes, additionally including a 2010 on-set erupt and a 2013 DUI, in 5 years, eventually driving the system to excuse Gibson for good. The episode not just denoted a deplorable ouster for Gibson, who had been with the show since its debut in 2005, it has additionally seriously discolored his reputation. Number 6. Amanda Bynes. The one-time model adolescent on-screen character stunned everybody with her career-finishing meltdown in 2012. Following an April capture that year for alcoholic driving and a supposed attempt at manslaughter a couple of days after the fact, the previous comedy star turned out to be apparently unhinged and started displaying progressively whimsical conduct. After a large number of unsettled Twitter blusters, bizarre incidents, and more legal trouble, Bynes' parents filed for conservatorship and the actress spent some time in a psychiatric ward. Bynes has stayed under the radar since, and however her Hollywood career might be finished, she is supposedly now going to classes at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. Number 7. Salling. In spring of 2016, the previous Glee star was prosecuted on charges of receiving and possessing child pornography. Following the charges, the disfavored on-screen character was cut from the miniseries, A.D.I. Shankar's Gods and Secrets. Chief, A.D.I. Shankar made the declaration on his Facebook page in May, expressing, "He has been cut from the mini-series, I will by and by be paying for the reshoots, and I trust that Mark finds inner peace." Things haven't improved for Salling in the months since. In October 2016, TMZ detailed that the entertainer is currently under scrutiny for allegedly raping a woman, in addition to the previous charges. Number 8. Anthony Weiner. New York State Democratic Representative Anthony Weiner was viewed as an exceptionally fruitful government official, having been the most youthful individual ever to win a New York City councilman seat at 27 years old, and afterward proceeding to win and hold the seat of New York's 9th congressional district for 7 years running. Unfortunately, despite his excellent work with underprivileged, at-risk kids and public housing, his profession finished surprisingly fast when he sent a connect to an explicitly intriguing photograph of himself to a lady on Twitter. In spite of the fact that he denied sending the photograph, asserting that his Twitter account had been hacked, eventually it came out that he had been exchanging explicit photos and messages with the woman for over 3 years. He left Congress on June 21, 2011, not exactly a month after the image that cut him down was posted on the web. Number 9. Chris Lee. Republican congressman from New York, Chris Lee, succumbed to a similar sort of drive that cut Anthony Weiner down the motivation to flex in an exposed fashion for ladies met on the web. As indicated by reports, Lee reacted to a Craigslist advertisement posted by a 34-year-old single lady searching for a man, sending her email that included photographs of him shirtless and flexing. She severed contact when she found that he had lied about his age and calling. However, the photographs had greater outcomes than simply losing a web tease. Lee left Congress very quickly after reports of the photographs came out. Number 10. Foley. Foley, a Republican congressman from Florida, made news in 2006 when it was found that he had been sending explicitly intriguing texts and thoughtful messages to teenaged young men who had recently filled in as congressional pages. Despite the fact that the FBI explored, Foley was never charged on account of an absence of proof and the termination of the legal time limit. By the by, the embarrassment cost him his seat in Congress. Foley surrendered in September of 2006. Thanks for watching, and if you want more celebrity-related gossips and news, make sure to subscribe Celebrity Holic, and turn on post notification to get notified.